We got Demarcus Bumpers.
I have a family of entertainers. So, Michael and Lydia have been in the industry for years because they were the founders for Death Row Records. So
Yeah,
they were the founders and started the label and actually had put up the capital. So with their knowledge and their expertise, that's what actually ended up helping me really navigate the business. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm not saying it because this is my family's record label, and Tupac was an artist in my family's record label, but
yeah.
Tupac is undisputed. He is the number one artist of all time. Okay.
Demarcus Bumpers on our podcast. Could you tell us how did you start off becoming a Hollywood actor? Because you
Yeah,
had a scene that you had a six-figure job, but then you decided to do something else.
that is correct. Yes. So I had a six-figure oil-field career job. I was working for a distributor for ExxonMobil, and I went with a friend to an audition, and I was in the waiting room, and he was in the back doing the audition. So I heard another reciting lines, and I said, "God, I wouldn't have said the lines like that." So he gave me the script. I started reciting the lines, and a casting director and producer heard me recite the lines and invited me to audition. At that time, I was reluctant and said no two times before. On the
Yeah,
third time, I said okay. So I went to the back, I auditioned, and then from there, I ended up booking it, and then I sort of never looked back. But
yeah,
then I was still blind to how the business operated and everything. So Michael Harris and Lydia Harris, their teachings is actually what helped me navigate in the business. Lydia gave me every tool that I would need within the business in order to be successful.
yeah. That story sounds similar to Tupac with Tretch. I don't know if you
Yes,
know that story with Juice.
I am a little familiar with it, huh? From back
Yeah.
from way in the day. Yeah.
So what it was, Tretch went for the role of Bishop,
Hmm. Hmm.
and
Yeah.
Tupac was just was just there following him, and then somehow they asked him to do a scene, and then the rest is history.
Yeah, and then I know and Tupac and them ended up getting the role. And then I know that for Higher Learning, that was another film. Tupac was actually supposed to play Omar Epps' role, but then because of, I guess the things that Tupac had going at the time, the
Yeah,
role of Omar Epps. Yeah.
yeah. So what was the moment that made you decide that you wanted to become an actor?
Oh goodness. When I really set foot in learning that I'm a really good storyteller. I love telling stories. It's very therapeutic for me. And to be able to jump in and out of characters and exhume the bodies of, other people and, the characters. Yeah.
Okay. Like, did your vision of what goes on in Hollywood match what you thought beforehand?
Oh no, 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 no. So my vision did not match at all because there's so much within the business that you have to really know and understand and
Yeah,
how to navigate and understanding the contracts and so forth. But luckily for me, I have a family of entertainers. So Michael and Lydia have been in the industry for years because they were the founders for Death Row Records. So
yeah,
they were the founders and started the label and actually had put up the capital. So with their knowledge and their expertise, that's what actually ended up helping me really navigate the business. And I really thank them and the tools that was provided to me in order to set me up for success and have a good successful career in the industry.
okay. So you brought up that Hario and Lydia is your family? Could you
Yes,
tell us more about that?
hmm So they are my family on my mother's side of the family. That is correct. Michael and Lydia, they used to be married at one point in the earlier days. And while Harry O was away, Lydia was running Death Row Records as the founder. And she was like I think president for the operations at the time when he was
Yeah,
going back in the 1990s. Because she was originally singing. She was a singer on the roster, if you look back on the roster in the 90s.
yeah.
And because she had to run the day-to-day operations, then she had to step away from singing to run the day-to-day operations of the label.
Okay. So what are your thoughts now that Snoop is a part owner of the company?
I think that is great. And Snoop, he's, business savvy, and I think that he's going to do great things within Death Row Records. I have no doubt. And I'm looking forward to more of the music that they're going to put out, more of the artists that they will get into the label. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the route that they go. And I know that they recently just got Maze onto the roster.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
also seen Harry O announced that Snoop and Dre are coming with the album this year too.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
I heard something about it, but I'm out of the loop. My family don't really keep me in the loop with the
yeah,
business day to day because I already myself I have a very hectic schedule with filming, auditioning, and everything. I'm on the road constantly, on the plane, traveling everywhere for
yeah,
all I have going right now and doing media and a lot of press right now. So it's hectic. But I get a little bit of a gist if it just casually come up in conversation. But I'm really out of the loop with some of the stuff that's going on in the music world right now. I casually hear it in conversation.
yeah. So what are your thoughts on Billboard and Vibe magazine's top 50 rappers ever? Because they had Death Row artists, Dr. Dre at number 40, Snoop at number 8, and Tupac at number 4.
I feel like there's a discrepancy in there. And I'm going to say this, and I'm not saying it because this is my family's record label, and Tupac was an artist in my family's record label, but
Yeah.
Tupac is undisputed. He is the number one artist of all time. Okay.
Yeah,
And
a lot of
also,
people say that.
yeah, Tupac is number one. And then I feel like Jay-Z is at the top. And, and I'm not even saying that because, Jay-Z is actually my family as well. He's my
Yeah,
family. He's actually my cousin, but is through marriage, but he's a cousin removed. So Beyonce is actually my cousin as well. She's my
yeah.
cousin removed. On my mom's side of the family.
Yeah, Jay-Z, they put Jay-Z actually number one on the list.
Really?
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he's up there at the top. So the
yeah,
man, the flowers, he's worked very hard in the industry. And, I feel like with his accolades and his hard work and everything, he's fought hard to really make a difference within the music industry. And I think that as time progresses, he will continue to get more accolades. And he's one artist
yeah.
that really stands the test of time.
So what are your thoughts on rappers that turn to actors? Like,
Rappers and actors. Well, there's some very talented ones. Tupac being one. Man, the man was not only a musical genius, but he was just a legend on the screen, and it was just so authentic and not rushed.
yeah,
Kendrick Lamar, he's phenomenal. He did a really good job in Power, and the list
yeah,
goes on. They've done a really good job, and
yeah,
he's well into writing and producing and so forth. Because I mean, as you see now in current day, he has uh, a series of powers. That's the original Power Book 2 and 3,
yeah,
and I've actually been able to keep up with all of them, and I'm
yeah.
very impressed by his work.
So would you be interested in a role on the Power Universe?
If the opportunity presented itself, but the script would actually have to be really good. So for
Yeah,
me, I pride myself on playing strong African American male characters. I feel that that's so
yeah,
important in industry because I want to leave my legacy and my mark on the world. And folks knowing me as that person that takes on strong African American characters. And if
Yeah.
I'm not able to do that, then it's likely a chance that I may not touch the role. So it just depends on the role.
Okay. Speaking of roles,
Hmm.
you were part of a film called Rise with
Yes.
Michaela Bryant, who we interviewed, and she talked about the film.
And this is my first feature with me as a star actress.
Could you tell us about that film and the experience working with her?
Yeah. Well, first I want to give a shout out to Michaela Bryant. She's a really good co-star. And she actually mentioned me in y'all's interview. She
Yes, she
mentioned
did.
I did see that in the interview. At that time earlier on, I wasn't able to do an interview with y'all. I had a lot of press and media that I was preparing for, but
Yeah,
she mentioned that she was doing an interview with y'all.
yeah,
Um, Working with Michaela on Rise, I feel like I learned so much on that production. And Michaela, she's just so patient. I can say that about her. For the role, we really had to be focused because there was a quick turnaround. And at the time, Michaela had a lot of press and interviews and so forth she was doing. Plus, she was traveling back and forth to New York with the fashion fitness and so forth.
yeah,
But we decided to do this film because we've been in the pandemic and we really needed to tell the story of individuals that were struggling with various things. They struggle with depression, and these things they kind of stay silent on, afraid that they'll be judged by the world. But
yeah,
they try to just wing it and go through the emotions, and firsthand we've been seeing it a lot in the media. So of course we put together Rise, which Rise, Michaela is the lead female character and I'm the lead male. And this film, it focuses on Michaela as an emerging artist who has to hit rock bottom. So
yeah,
the world quickly comes tumbling down, and she has to really do some soul searching and look within herself to see if she can continue on in the capacity that she's in. And that's, being that actress and that model. So she gets the highs and she gets the lows. In the beginning of the film, you see
yeah,
that she's on the journey. She's really trying to wing it. You see that she has strength in her. There's strength, but she has to get hit as every other artist do it. I
everybody,
have, as she
yeah,
has in her personal life. But
yes,
with that, I'm so sorry, I get excited on this. But with that, we were able to really capture the story of no matter how hard a journey is, at the end of the day, if it's something that you really want to do, no matter what roadblocks, what obstacles are put in front of you, you still will work hard to make it happen, no matter how hard. And, my character on this, I played that producer that delivers her the bad news. And I, tell her, well, hey, if you don't make this change, this is what I'm prepared to do. So I come in and I just wreak havoc, but it's for her own good. And my character really sees the good in her and the potential that she has, but
yeah,
she has to get that feedback, whether positive or negative. She has to get it in order to move forward. So once she gets that feedback, you see in the film the decision that she ultimately makes. And I think that a lot of not only African American males and females, but just folks from different ethnical backgrounds, they will definitely relate to this film. Um, it's some of my more proudest work because I
yeah,
felt like I was really able to do justice to the character. And I feel like I was able to just be, not only my authentic self, but put that hat on and become that producer, that reigns on her parade. And
yeah,
we had to really, me and her, we had to really feed off each other in the scenes. We had to really feed off each other and really go to that vulnerable place in order to tell a story. Because this is something that, the people have to be able to relate to. The major topics in current day, like suicide, depression, major setbacks, all these obstacles you face. That's gonna be something that's impactful to the people. So when we tell stories, we want to tell stories that are relatable. We don't want to just
Yes, every
put
day, every
put crap
person
together.
can feel. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a good film, and it's supposed to be coming out. They had to do a pushback on the release dates because of the distributors, which I have no control over.
Yes, of
But
course.
it's, as of now, from my last communication with the director and so forth, they had set it for August of this year, August 18th on Plex. And then
Oh,
I know Amazon Prime will get it. I know a handful of other platforms like Sling and so forth, they will get the film as well. And it's, a nice feature film. And I feel like a lot of people, they will go back and they'll watch it for a second time.
yeah. So, could you tell us some of your favorite films of all time?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. One of my favorite films of all time is, of course, with the great Denzel Washington, Training Day. I
Yes.
felt that he did a phenomenal job in that. And I was just, oh my God, I had to watch that film a ton of times. It's so bad, I had to learn the lines.
Yeah, that's a great movie. It's a great
And the
movie.
Academy Award for that film was well deserved. He did a phenomenal job. And
Yeah,
I feel
also seen that said that your family helped Denzel at the beginning of his career too.
that is correct. Yes, yes. So back in the day, so of course in the 70s, Denzel Washington was in the TV series Saint Elsewhere back in the day, and
Yeah,
then years later, he came across my family, Harry O and Lydia and them, and they cast him in the Broadway play called Checkmate, starring Paul Whitfield and Ruby Dee, and that
yeah,
film. I mean, well, that Broadway play really catapulted his career, making my family the first African Americans to finance, direct, cast, and produce a Broadway play in the state of New York. Because, back in the
yeah.
80s, back in the day, that was unheard of for an African American to put up the Capitol and put on multiple hats in
It's
the
interesting
entertainment
because
industry.
everyone always just associates Serial with the music label and not this little tidbit that you're telling us right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I feel like Harry O and them, they and Lydia are just two very talented individuals. And, I got with Lydia specifically because most of my teaching and time was spent more so with Lydia. So
Yes.
Lydia one that was really pushing it on the outside, telling me the tools that would be needed in order to navigate the business, how to go about getting, coaches to get training and then work to get an agent, and how to deal with contracts and everything everything that you would need to know as an artist. And there's things that I still don't know that I'm still learning, but I will forever be grateful to Lydia Harris. And Lydia, thank you so much. I really want to tell you that Harry O, shout out to my cousin Harry O as well. Yeah,
Oh.
definitely.
So,
But definitely grateful for them, that just really two really good people. And with some of the teachings, I'm able to thrive today as an actor, and I'm taking on a series of roles. And I actually just booked the new Jason Voorhees film just now. I actually just
yeah,
recently booked. Mhm.
so we could see you in there with Jason, eh?
Yes, you can definitely will see me with Jason in the film. So Jeff May, he will be the new Jason Voorhees. And also I'm working with Chris Todd Durbin. He's actually in there as well. They're North Carolina natives, and we're supposed to be shooting the film in North Carolina.
Okay.
And then I have a string of other films and TV series and so forth that I'm also attached to now. Another project that I'm doing is The Beginning of the End. The director on that is James Joffrion. He is an emerging artist in the industry as well. He just wrapped up on what was that, the VH1 TV series with Terrence J and Carrie Hilson in them. Family Hip Hop Christmas. It was on VH1.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
He was
And
actually he had a big part in that. And then I'm also working on Streaming Sarah with Tiffany Sturdivant as the director, and it was written by Joyce Kostakis. So she's a New York Times bestseller that
Yeah.
wrote the Streaming Sarah. They cast me in that as a police officer. And then I was just recently cast in Get Out of My Dreams, which is another one by Tiffany Sturdivant.
Yeah.
That is a film that is focusing on a string of rapes that have occurred. So I play a detective that's actually investigating on that.
Yeah.
And yeah, yeah, there's a lot of projects that I actually have in the works. And then last one that just recently just came to me within a few weeks is called Smoke and Mirrors. So I'll be working with Sebastian Large, and he actually just got done not too long ago working with Dwayne Johnson on a Netflix uh, film, which is called Red Notice, and he worked on another one with Bruce Willis, The Wire. So yeah, Sebastian Large, he's making a major name in the industry. So they've been pairing me up with some really talented individuals in the industry.
Yeah. So what do you do when you prepare for roles?
Okay, so to prepare for roles, I don't take the approach of you hand me a script and then a week later or 2 weeks later, I'm in character. So what I do is for each character that I portray, I will take maybe a couple months where I work to embody that character by. So if I were playing like a construction worker, then
Yeah.
I would spend my time with a construction worker shadowing him and really mimicking his habits and really embodying that construction worker. So when I'm on screen, I can give my best performance. Like I
Makes
feel like it's
sense.
so
Yeah.
important. Don't just jump into a character and then just lights, camera, action. No, no.
Yeah.
I really need to develop that character, really study that character, really work to embody that character, understand, the strengths and the weaknesses. So when I merge it with the script, I'm able to give a really good performance.
Yeah. So do you have any advice for upcoming actors, actresses?
Mhm. If you want to get into the business, you have to be really focused and understand that in the business, you will hear a bunch of no's before you hear the yeses. Definitely.
Yeah.
Um, it's designed to separate the strong from the weak. And if you really want to do it, you're going to stay focused. You're going to keep putting in the work. You'll take classes, train, work to get, a agent, a manager, a publicist, and then you start working to get booked on roles, and you have to network. That's a very important key piece because it's going to go back to also who you know in the business when you're trying to navigate the business.
Yes. So is there anything else you want the world to know about Demarcus Bumpers?
Well, I'm definitely determined to be the first African American male from Houston, Texas, to win an Emmy Award, a Golden Globe, and an Academy Award for acting, and I'm not slowing up anytime soon. I'm
Oh,
definitely on the rise. And right now, I have over 10 projects that I'm booked for. And I'm definitely will continue working and booking as a talent. And also, if you get a chance, you can also read about me in Forbes magazine because Forbes actually just covered me, Forbes New York, along with
oh,
Forbes People. And there's a lot of media outlets now that are already starting to cover me in the press.
yeah. Okay. So one last question, since you just
Yeah.
brought up Academy Awards.
Mhm.
What was your thought on the whole Will and Chris Rock and the recent comedy flick with Chris Rock?
Okay, so the comedy flick, I did not watch it. I'm
Okay.
gonna be, so I didn't watch it. The
Yeah,
Academy Award, I feel like Will Smith could have handled it a lot better. It really hurt my soul to watch an African American male slap another African American male. It really hurt my heart because, we've had to work twice as hard to get, not only onto television, but to go to the awards, a prestigious award at that, and have that kind of honor bestowed upon us but to go and fight, for the cause of Blacks being able to have that inclusivity, and then us not being able to really shine like that because of a decision that you made like that by slapping another Black man, and not to mention uh, taking the light and shine off of all of the other winners for that night, and nominees had their chance to shine because it's overshadowed by what you did. It just really set us back. But I feel like people make mistakes, and he's human. He make mistakes. There's a lot of people that make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Do I think that he'll make a comeback from it? Eventually. Will it be easy? No. Do I think, will he keep booking? Absolutely. And he's going to do great things. And in the future, I would love to work with Will Smith. So, my thing is just, learn from your mistakes, keep going, keep working hard, keep thriving. Don't let a minor setback just hurt you permanently and to keep you down and in the dumps. When you have an error, look for a paper towel to clean up that spilled milk and make a change. Do something different, but at the same time, do something that's impactful, that's really going to change the name of the game and the dynamics. Because right now we're in some really trying times. So, I wish that brother the best of luck. And, you never know. You probably will see us together on the screen.
Yeah, hopefully you're moving on up.
Oh yes, definitely. And I'm looking forward to being a part of Jason Voorhees, the Jason Voorhees family. It's a major I was just lost for words. And I definitely want to thank Jeff Mays and Chris Todd Durbin for helping me to secure the role on Jason Voorhees. They're gonna stream it on the platforms, kind of like how they recently did with Jacob Lattimore's Chainsaw. It'll be streamed.
Be streamed. Okay.